My name is Ravi Kahlon, Ravikahlon. I'm the MLA for Delta North and the Parliamentary Secretary for Sport and Multiculturalism. Multiculturalism for Canada has had a changing meaning over the time. Initially, the idea was that people celebrate their cultures and their identities in their own communities. Unlike the US, which is a melting pot where everybody shows up and they're expected to become one, here we like to celebrate the distinction, the differences in each person's culture, their heritage, their language, even their religion. And we believe that that individual strength makes our country stronger. Our focus now as a provincial government is to encourage communities to celebrate together and educate each other about all the special things about their culture and traditions so that we all can become stronger for it. Diversity, though, is the strength of not only British Columbia, but of Canada. We are so lucky that we can learn from each other, learn from different life experiences, learn from so many different perspectives, and it makes us stronger. And so what we find is every company, every board, every organization that celebrates diversity, that has diversity represented, always does better, both locally and at the international stage. Well, there's a lot of discussion about multiculturalism and is it still the right thing for BC and for Canada? And I think it is. It is a debate that's going to be happening, but I think celebrating our individuality is what makes Canada and BC a wonderful place. But what I do think we need to do is, instead of celebrating it within our only communities, we need to celebrate with other communities. And so that's what our focus of the province is now, is to encourage communities not to just celebrate your culture and your traditions, but bring another community on and find things in common. We just recently had East Indian group, a Pangada group, do a celebration with First Nations and Indigenous, and they celebrated harvest. What does harvest mean for each community? And celebrated together. That's what really multiculturalism is about, and that's what we're encouraging. Sometimes concerns are raised that people, when they immigrate to Canada, that perhaps they've got a different way of thinking than perhaps people here do, and that actually is quite normal. But I think over time, what happens is that people start learning about the ways here, and what I always say to people is, you need to celebrate why you're here. There's a reason why people have come to Canada. They've come for a better life for their family, for their kids, a better way of living, a cleaner environment. And so those things just don't happen by themselves. They happen by putting in work. And so I always encourage people to learn about their neighbors, to be open, because that's what Canada is. I think it's important, though, for folks who just, let's say, recently immigrated here, to understand that the way of living, the ideologies that perhaps were in the home country or the mother country might not necessarily be the ideologies that are accepted here. And so it's important to come here and embrace what we have, embrace the fact that we like to celebrate together, that we don't like division, and I think we'll be a better place. I think it's something that a lot of new immigrants struggle with, but it's an important thing in order to really survive here in Canada. When I ran for politics, when I ran to represent North Delta, my only goal was to make my community a better place. And I'm proud to say that I was able to seismically upgrade the last school here in North Delta so that if there's an earthquake, that our kids are safe. We were able to build playgrounds, able to organize community groups. I give scholarships at every single high school to kids who are doing well, because I want to encourage kids to pursue higher achievements in life, in education, but do things that they're passionate about and help the community. So lots of community building in my community. I'm really proud of the work I've been able to do in just less than 2 years. And then provincially, I've been doing lots of work around anti-racism, a lot of work on human rights. I issued the Human Rights Report now, which is being enacted, and we're creating a Human Rights Commission for BC. So I've been able to participate in that. I'm really proud of that work. I've been doing lots of work on the sports file to ensure that kids can play sport again. We have a problem. Kids are not playing anymore. And so, between art and sport, I think kids need to be active. And so we're trying to encourage those. So I've been doing a lot of my community. I've been doing stuff for the province on sport, human rights, and anti-racism and multiculturalism work. And I'm really proud of what I've been able to do in 2 years. And I'm looking forward to the future years.